Okay, we back at it. It's been a few days or however long, but it's all good. It's all gravy. We're just gonna do a quick trade recap and just knock out this one and done. Yesterday was a little bit of a brutal day, but we bounce back, we come back at it when it comes to trading. And let me make sure, let's see what we're doing. Doesn't look like the world knows that I'm live yet. So once I get indication that I'm live, we can read this disclosure, this disclaimer, knock that out, and then we can get rolling. All right, let's see how we're doing. Let's see how we're going here. Okay, looks like we're good. Looks like we're live. So please note that the following is not legal or financial advice and is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Investing in securities carries a high degree of risk and can result in the loss of your entire investment. You should consult with a qualified financial advisor or legal professional before making any investment decisions. The information contained in this presentation does not constitute an offer or solicitation to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments. Any opinions expressed in this presentation are subject to change without notice and should not be relied upon as a recommendation to buy or sell any securities. Please do your own due diligence and research before making any investment decisions. All right, so we knocked out the disclaimer and we can go ahead and get into the trade recap, trade of the day. So today was a good one and done. And my all-time favorite setup presented itself. So right now we're looking at Amazon on the 30-minute chart. The morning is starting off pretty bullish for the market. So the morning is started off pretty bullish for the market. We got Amazon. So this was the trade of the day right here. We took some calls, got in and out really quick, made a nice little 10%, 11%, and it was nice. So I'm going to go over the trade. It was my favorite type of setup that I like to trade as a scalper on the 30-minute chart. And so we'll let a few more people come through the live and then we could break this down. Thank y'all for the likes and thank you all ahead of time for sharing the live. I really do appreciate it. So now, first, let's go over to the Discord. So over here in the Discord at 7:28, I did say that I'm looking at Amazon or QQQs to scalp some calls. So I put in the charts and what I was looking at. But I like to do that in the Discord. And because I'm a scalper, it's a little bit harder because usually when I see my plays, they happen really quick. It's not like day trading or swing trading where I was kind of see, you can see them somewhat of a mile away forming. But over here in the trading channel, I told the Discord that I got into these calls. Boom, that was my entry. Let me kind of move myself out the way. You guys could see my entry there. And then down here, after about 30 minutes, went ahead and took profits, made about 11%. So a little hundred, something and some change, 100 and some change. But let's go over the trading strategy. Somebody called notification says spy. No, we're talking about Amazon. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions, any comments. All right. So right now we're talking about Amazon and the trade of the day. So I gave an alert on the Discord, as you guys saw, that I was getting into this trade, or at least that I was looking at it in the trading chat room. So I gave a heads up. So just a disclaimer, and I'm going to get into breaking the trade down right now. But if you're new to my TikTok, my name is Curtis G, and I focus on options trading for beginner traders. And so today, my all-time favorite setup presented itself. I went ahead and took that trade, and we were able to make some money. So now let's take a look at it. Now, if you've been on my lives before, and if you're ready to take some notes, just follow me step by step, and then let me know if you have any questions. As a scalper, my all-time favorite setup that I like to trade is on the 30-minute chart when I see a bullish engulfing that happens above the previous day high. And that's exactly what happened this morning with SPY. So, or not SPY, but with Amazon. My bad, y'all. So with Amazon, we had this first red candle on the 30-minute chart. Then we had this bullish green candle, right, that engulfed it. And this bullish candle ended above yesterday's high. When I see this setup, I take it all day. I take this setup all day. Now, it's not going to make you the most money depending on where your profit target is, but you are going to get some dollars. I got to be careful how I speak because Amazon might restrict my live. But like I said, you're not going to make the most, but you will get a few bucks. You can have your one and done and be done. So as soon as this candle right here, let me move it over. Let me move it over. I feel like my screen's a little hazy. But as soon as this candle right here closed, and it was clearly a bullish engulfing that ended above the previous day high, we entered into calls. Of course, we were expecting a pullback because it did create a fair value gap, right? So it did create a fair value gap. I was expecting that. But then we took those calls up here, exited for some profit, and we were good to go. That's the long and short of the trade. That is how it goes. So if you guys want to see the proof in the pudding or the evidence or why I'm so confident in this particular trade, I want to show you guys why this is my favorite, why I like it so much. All right, Saroj, thank you for the follow. Naima, I see you. I see you. Let me just take a look at some of our top viewers and give a shout out. James Moore, Mr. Marcus Turner, Jenna, the Erudition, Ash, I see you. Skeeman, Opal Barnes, what's going on? Maria Diaz, Terry, Hugo Herrera, what's up, Lyle? Robusto, Snatcho. Okay. Now, you guys want to know why this setup is my favorite setup? Let me go into my back testing log and I want to show you why is it that I'm so confident, why I like to do this trade, why this is one of my favorite setups. So while my back testing log is coming up, what we're talking about is the trade that we did, the trade of the day, which is a bullish engulfing on the 30-minute chart that occurs above the previous day high. All right. Okay. So now let me go. It's still loading up. Of course, the computer's acting a little slow. So here is my Excel sheet. I manually back tested. You guys can see over on the left-hand side all the rows. I manually back tested almost 200 instances of when there's a bullish engulfing that occurs. And if you guys can see, I did all this manual back testing. And what I found was I basically created a very simple formula in Excel. And so whenever the bullish engulfing was successful, I gave it a 100. And then whenever it was not successful, I gave it a 0. And then using 100s and zeros allows for a very easy formula in Excel to tell me the probability of the setup being successful. Now, the next things that I added into my backtesting log were when did the bullish engulfing occur? So I looked at times where the bullish engulfing occurred above the previous day high, just like we saw here. I looked at times where the bullish engulfing occurred below the previous day low. And I looked at times where the bullish engulfing occurred above or below the previous day 50%. Now, back on the back testing log, I saw that if a bullish engulfing occurs above the previous day high, that's what this column is here. If we filter it down, just for these instances, boom, let me go. What you guys can see is that the probability of there being continued bullish momentum, or at least the next candle being bullish as well, is 70%. So going back through 200 times, I went and I back tested this, and that's what we can see here. I really don't like how hazy this looks. Wow. It looks super hazy. It looks really hazy. All right. So if that makes sense, drop a one in the chat. If that makes sense, drop a one in the chat. If you just joined, let me know and I could go over it. But a very, very easy trade for the new traders out there. Like I said, it isn't one that's going to make you the most money, but it is an easy one to spot. If you see a bullish engulfing that occurs above the previous day high, then I take that all day. Of course, as we all know, every trading strategy does not work 100% of the time. We just want to find setups that have a high probability of working out. And this is one that I found has a high probability of working out. So if you see this bullish engulfing above the previous day high, there's a good chance that we're going to continue to have some more bullish momentum in the morning, in the day, or wherever it occurs. And that was the trade. That was a super simple trade. I've done this plenty of times. You guys can go back to my previous lives. You can check out my videos on YouTube, and you'll see that I've done this trade several times on live, or I've done trade recaps. I talk about this being one of my very, very favorite setups. All right. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. Mr. Marcus Turner says one more time. Of course. So I'll do it one more time. It's a very simple strategy. All that we're looking for, and I've only back tested this on the 30-minute chart. So keep that in mind. I've only back tested this on the 30-minute chart, but all that we're looking for is on the 30-minute chart, we're looking for one red candle, right? We got that in the first 30 minutes of the day. Then the next thing that we're looking for is for there to be a bullish engulfing. And we want this bullish engulfing to close above the previous day high. We want that bullish engulfing to close above the previous day high. If we see that on the 30-minute chart, that is a good indication that we're going to continue to have some more bullish momentum throughout the day or the half day or the ending of the day, whenever it occurs. So on this particular trade, I'm kind of zoom it in and make it bigger for us. on this particular trade, as soon as this bullish engulfing candle closed, we hopped into this. So you could still be in this trade making money. One thing that we did expect that we all know is that most candles will have a bottom wick and a top wick, right? Some pullback. And that was very evident because we did have this fair value gap to close. So I wasn't concerned about that. I was expecting there to be a fair value gap. Of course, we prefer to get into a trade and it immediately to go in our direction, which is perfectly fine. But we need to be aware that, of course, when we get into a trade, there's going to be a little bit of a pullback. And it was very obvious because we did have this fair value gap. So I stayed through that, had somewhat of a drawdown on the contracts. But of course, price came back up and then we got out around this area. But you could still be in this trade making money depending on where you set your PTs or your support and resistance level. So very, very simple. Hugo says, how do you spot bullish engulfing? Okay, so Hugo, any engulfing, whether it's a bearish engulfing or a bullish one, is basically defined or characterized by, does this candlestick completely swallow up the body of this candlestick? So I only do engulfings based off the body of the candlestick, not the wicks, right? Not the top and bottom lines. We're only talking about the rectangles, the body. So whenever we see a green body that is way larger, that can completely eat up this red body, that is an engulfing, right? And in this case, it's a bullish engulfing because the green candle basically engulfs or eats up the red candle. It would be a bearish engulfing if it was vice versa, if it was a red candle that was eating up a smaller bullish one. So in this case, we look for that bullish engulfing and make sure that it happens above the previous day high, and then go ahead and enter into those calls to the upside. And as you can see, there's plenty of opportunity to take profits in these last 30, 60 minutes. For sure, for sure. So really simple, really, really simple, easy one, easy trade. Now, if you guys do want more of the recaps and the breakdowns and things like that, let me show you all my YouTube channel. So I do also upload the videos to my YouTube. So if you go over to YouTube and you want to just, put something on just so you can take your time to digest the information or take your time to look at some of my previous trades, you could go to my YouTube channel, which is Curtis G 24 on YouTube. And then I upload all of my trade recaps onto YouTube. So you can just go to videos or playlist and you guys can see all of them. I've been doing it for a long time. So you can get all of my trades, all of my breakdowns, everything like that. For sure, for sure. Oh, thanks, Mr. Marcus. I appreciate you subscribing. Thank you so much, man. I actually haven't really set up anything on the subscription, so I don't want you to like pay or do anything like that because I haven't really done anything special for the subscribers yet. I was just testing it out. So if you want to cancel the subscription, man, that's perfectly fine. Please do. I don't want people to be getting charged money for something that I haven't really thoroughly set up. But I really do appreciate the love, Mr. Marcus. I do. It means a lot to me. And if you guys are interested, and please don't take this like I'm trying to sell it to you or force it on you. But if you are interested, just take a look at the link in my bio for my Discord. You get the first 30 days free. And then after that, it's just $10 a month. That's where most of the information is at, right? That's where you get all my charts, you get all my plays, everything that I'm looking at. All of my stuff is broken down in the Discord. So there's a lot more useful information there as opposed to my TikTok live subscription. And that's just because I haven't set up anything in TikTok live. But at least you guys can get the first 30 days free and you can see if you like it or not. If not, you can cancel, no harm, no foul. But if you're rocking with it, then we'd love to have you over at the Passive Income University. That's the name of the Discord. But yeah, so I just wanted to tap in with y'all because I really like these days when it's just a one and done. The trade works out perfectly. Looks like we're starting to get a little bit of retracement, somewhat of a pullback. We can go take a look at the rest of the market to see what's going on. Let's take a look at all right, we'll go right here. It looks like SPY is still very bullish though. So here's SPY right now, still very bullish. SPY is still very bullish on the 30-minute chart. It's above the previous day high. So maybe Amazon just getting a little shaky. It is Prime Day. So maybe the company's under a little bit more scrutiny for the day. I really don't like how hazy this looks, but it's all gravy. It's all good. It's all good. Hugo says, what's your thoughts on Nvidia? Um, I haven't looked at Nvidia in a while in terms of options trading. It is a part of the long-term portfolio. But let's go take a look at the chart. Let's go take a look at the Nvidia chart. Let's see. Let's see. All right. JD says pullback or long, pulled on Palantir at 36. We up to 43. Okay. So we can kind of see these are the last kind of things that I had on the chart when I was looking at NVIDIA. Let me just kind of shrink this down a little bit. Let's bring this up here somewhere. So this is the daily chart for NVIDIA. Looks like we're trying to get back up to some highs. Let me squeeze this in as we all can see. So it looks like we're trying to get back to some highs in this area. And we do have an upward trend. Let me get rid of the old drawings. Let's do some fresh charting. In my immediate Hugo is I think we're gonna probably hit a little bit of resistance and then have somewhat of a pullback once we get into like up here. That's what I think. We already kind of experienced it on this daily chart, right? We kind of come up and then now we're kind of coming back down. So that is my thoughts at first glance. I wish that this trend line was a little bit cleaner because if you've been on my lives before, I like to have my trend lines very easy and distinct to spot out. Looks like we got a gap right here that may need to be closed at some point. But when it comes to daily gaps, I don't hold my breath for when they're gonna close. I do not hold my breath when when daily gaps will close. They can go months and years without coming back to that price. Not that I'm saying that that's what's going to happen with Nvidia, but so all I did right now, let me shrink it back in so we can see it. So we're just doing a quick little charting on Nvidia. Somebody wanted to know, Hugo wanted to know my thoughts. Crazy has somewhat of a double bottom right here, but I believe that we're in this kind of support and resistance zone. We also do have this daily trend, which is this upward line that I drew, this white line. So I think that we'll kind of sputter around in here, just like how we saw this, right? Even though price had gapped up and came back down, I think we're kind of going to do the same thing in this area. I don't think, and this is between 132 and 137. And I know that's a wide gap because you can make a lot of money if you're trading that either up to the upside or the downside. That's a $5 spread. But based on this kind of support and resistance zone, I think that NVIDIA might come up a little bit more and then pull back down. I think this area, as we can see, has been somewhat of a problem for price to break through. So that is my thoughts. But if I wanted to break the time frame down and kind of see, so this is what I like to do. After I draw my trend line on the daily chart, I like to break it down and come down to a smaller time frame, obviously, right? And then see where there could be a potential entry. So if I wasn't in NVIDIA yet on some options, it would be nice to see price kind of maybe come back down into this area and then take some calls to the upside below the support and resistance. It would be nice to see price go below the support and resistance and then take calls back up into here. That would be cool. That would be a nice thing. But I do think that we are in the support and resistance zone. So price might just be a little bit choppy and it may struggle to either define where it wants to go. Does it want to break above or does it want to drop below? Chuck Thomas, thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, that was it. I just want to tap in with y'all really quick to go over the trade of the day. It was one and done. I gave the alert to the Discord. And if you just joined the live right now, I'll break it down for you one more time. It's very, very simple. So, as a scalper, one of my all time favorite setups is to take calls after I see a bullish engulfing, which is what we see right here with these two candles. After I see a bullish engulfing that happens above the previous day high, so the engulfing closes above the previous day high, that signals to me that we're going to have some continued bullish momentum. So we got into calls right on this candlestick. Of course, there was a fair value gap right here that needed to close. So I was expecting that a little bit of a retracement at the beginning on the candles or on the options contracts. But of course, price moved back up and then we took profits right around here. But you could still be in the trade depending on where you set your PT. You could still be in the trade making money. Of course, you don't want to be greedy. You want to take profits when you see profits. And then if you guys wanted just a little bit of evidence as to why I'm so confident in this setup, that's because I manually back tested it almost 200 times. As you guys can see here on my Excel sheet, I have the date, the time that it occurred, and then I have these columns that tell me whether or not the engulfing happened above the previous day high, above the previous day 50%, or did it happen below the previous day low? Once I logged all of that, I added a formula into Excel that will tell me, depending on what factors are present, what is the probability that the next candle will continue to be bullish. And so with this back testing, I found that 70% of the time we have that continued bullish momentum. So that's how I came about this being my favorite setup. It's one that I like to trade all the time. I like to get in and out. Like I said, you're not going to make the most money, but you will make a couple dollars and you can go on about your way. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Big shout out to QMod Dukes, just joined the live. Got a celebrity in the building. All right, so the YouTube channel is Curtis G24. This is what it looks like. Let me shrink it down a little bit. Let's shrink it down. So Curtis G24, and I do a trade recap. So whenever I do a trade, of course, I give the alerts and everything like that first to the Discord, do my entries, exits. I show my screenshots, my trade confirmations. Then I come over here to TikTok. I go over the trades with y'all so you guys can see what I did. Every now and then, I'm able to get in and do trading live. It doesn't happen as often as I like to, but every now and then, I'm able to get into doing some trading live. But no matter what, at the minimum, I always put my trade recaps up here on YouTube. So if you ever want to go back in the past, I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, something like that. I put all my trades in YouTube, so you could always go back and take a look at what I traded, what the strategy was, what the setup looked like, win, lose, or draw. Was I profitable? Did I take a loss? Everything like that is all up on YouTube, full transparency. All right. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank you for the likes. Big shout out to QMod Dukes. All right, all right, all right. So yeah, that's about it, y'all. That's about it. Like I said, I just wanted to hop on really quick, show y'all what the trade of the day is. Amazon is still moving up. We got a strong bullish momentum for the day. And of course, if you just joined, the trade of the day was a bullish engulfing that happens above the previous day high, usually signals more bullish momentum. But of course, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment on one of my videos, shoot me a DM, or just tap in with me. Join the Discord, Passive Income University. All right, y'all. Peace.